Hi, my name is Greg Berg. I'm the principal here at Lincoln High School, and I just want to welcome you to Lincoln. Lincoln, we're a 7-12 building, about 100 students per grade. We really try to keep our 7th and 8th grade more in a middle school type of philosophy, while our 9 through 12 is more of a traditional high school. It's a great size school. I think one of the big benefits of Lincoln High School is we really have a lot to offer all students, even though we're a smaller school and a smaller community. We've got multiple AP offerings and college credit offerings. We've got multiple extracurricular offerings, more so than nearly any school our size. So I think our biggest selling point here at Lincoln is small class sizes, a smaller environment where teachers really get to know kids, but yet a lot of the big school opportunities and experiences for kids to have. I'd like to take you on a little bit of a walking tour today. So down this hallway, this is kind of the main corridor to the school. We have all of our science classrooms to my left here. Our 2 art classrooms are to the right. We have our guidance area. 2 counselors are housed right here. All right, this is a typical science classroom for us, newly renovated. Mr. Nutt, our 7th grade life science teacher. This is a 7th grade classroom. Everyone say hi. Hi. All right, thank you. One of the things we really wanted to do back when we had our building project here at the high school in 2010 is really try to personalize the school and try to bring a lot of school spirit and school pride back. And one thing that we created was the Scholastic Wall of Honor, which is something I'm really, really proud of. We want to recognize all of our student accomplishments academically. And so this Scholastic Wall of Honor, which you'll see, really showcases the kids who have been AAA winners. As with the rest of our foyer, this beautiful mural is part of a donation, a private donation, as well as support from our student council, which really highlights the arts and activities of our student body from the early 1900s until today. So this is really Grand Central Station in our school. This is where a lot of the action happens. We've got all of our band concerts, our plays over here in the auditorium, and all of our athletic events occur right here. So this is kind of the busiest place in the school on a typical day. The wing that we're in now is our band wing, our choir wing, and our industrial tech and ag wing. And if we keep walking down, I'd like to show you our tech ed wing, because we are doing some of the most state-of-the-art things in our tech ed department that you will ever see. Multiple 3D printers, a lot of computer programming, a lot of hands-on experiences and opportunities with CAD, CNC mills, and etc. So we're very fortunate. We've got a great teacher, Mr. Brill, who's doing some wonderful things down in that wing as well.
My name is Anna Karsten. I teach 8th grade Earth Science, and this is our augmented reality sandbox. And what it does is it allows students to hands-on explore topography. So they're able to make hills, they're able to make valleys. Right now they're able to make it rain, and we can watch how water moves downhill, which is an important concept we're learning in Earth Science. And just want to thank you, because this has been a tremendous learning tool in my classroom. And you, the Lake City Education Foundation, were nice enough to purchase us a solar telescope. And the beauty of a solar telescope is I can do daytime observing with my students, and we can see what the sun is doing. It's pretty active right now, which is fun. So we can see sunspots, prominences. We can see like the surface of the sun kind of bubbles and boils, so we can sometimes pick that up too.
My name is Becky Houghton. I am a math teacher here at Lincoln High School. This is my 2nd year at Lincoln, and I have gone through and written a grant to get myself some TI Nspire graphing calculators for using in my classrooms. The calculators allow us to do a lot of statistical analysis, and not just in our AP Stats class, but also allowing us to access all of those types of technologies with our younger students. So right now, this class is an Algebra 2 class, and we are doing statistical analysis at this level with these kids. So it allows to get more of a high level of understanding down to a lower level of a math class. It also allows us in our geometry classes to go through and make sure that we can get them some hands-on data and doing some creating with the Geometer's Sketchpad that's built into the TI Nspire calculators. So thank you very much for the donation, and thank you for supporting us.
Good morning and welcome to Bluffview Elementary. My name is Jim Borgschatz, and today we're going to be taking a walking tour of our building. We are at the north end of our building, and currently we are standing in our band room. Band is one of the things that our community thoroughly supports through 5th grade through 12th grade. We're about to enter kindergarten room. They'll be transitioning to Phi-Ed in just a few moments, but I'd like to welcome you to one of our kindergarten rooms. Good morning. This is a kindergarten room. We have 20 students in this kindergarten room. Mrs. Steinmetz, as you can see, has children working at all different tables independently. So as 5-year-olds and 6-year-olds, we can see how they can be independent in their work study, as well as knowing exactly what they need to do. You'll see the flexible seating being used in here. You'll see higher tables, lower tables, stools, wobble stools, and wobble cushions all being used here in a kindergarten room to meet the needs of the students that are in kindergarten. This kindergarten room looks very similar to all other rooms. We're now leaving the 4th, 5th, and 6th grade end of the building and entering the 3rd grade, 2nd grade, and 1st grade part of our building. We are a 650 student elementary, which is one of the larger elementaries you'll find in the area, with a class size of about 100 kids per grade. Today we're in a music classroom, and these are 1st graders that are talking about their different voice that they can use. They have 4 different types of voice, and right now Mrs. Ragnas, our music teacher, who is also our choir teacher. So kids here at Bluffview get music 75 minutes a week, and they get the chance to join choir in 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. This is our library. We have 24,000 books in our library. We have our 1st graders in here. You can hear in the background. They come here one time a week for 30 minutes, and they can check out up to 3 books. And as they read that book, they can bring it back and check out another one at any point during the week. And we have kids in here at all different times during the day to grab a new book and start a new adventure through reading.
I'm Dina Huddle. I teach 3rd grade at Bluffview Elementary, and we recently received money from the Lake City Education Foundation for mentor texts to go along with our reading, writing, our core curriculum. Mentor texts so it's basically like a mentor, something that goes along with a skill you're teaching, a reading strategy, a writing skill, social studies. It can go through math. You're just using a piece of literacy to teach a skill. And the nice thing about having numerous mentor texts is being able to teach with many books the one skill, so kids can see how many times they can go to a different book and use that skill over and over again, and it's not just one story they're hearing.
What are they doing now?
So right now, this morning we read a story called Stand Tall, Molly Lou Mellon, and then we read Recess Queen, and they are comparing, the skill we're working on this week is compare and contrast. So they're comparing the 2 stories. They're comparing the characters, the setting, the plot, and the theme of the story. And it's nice because now we can compare and contrast. But next week, if our skill is cause and effect, we can use the same books to review the skill cause and effect that we already have done the week prior.
My name is Drew Waldbillig. I teach 5th grade here at Bluffview. I'm going into my 6th year of teaching. What we're going to look at today is something called a FRAC track, which is what we got as a grant from the Lake City Education Foundation. A FRAC track helps students learn which fractions are equivalent to each other without a teacher feeding them information. Education is definitely changing, and it's very different from a teacher standing up in front of the room and lecturing students. It's more of a teacher as a facilitator. So as we'll look at today, I have 5 different stations. 3 of them will be using the FAC track, and it's kind of students being more exploratory with their learning and finding things out for themselves, like I said, as opposed to me giving them instructions. So let's go take a look. So starting from the left, go ahead. Okay, so you have a mixed number here, 2 6/8, and then you have an improper fraction, 22/8. Why don't you find them on your FRAC tracks?
At Bluffview Elementary, we have 2 Phi-Ed teachers that teach Phi-Ed all day long, and our students get Phi-Ed 5 days a week for 25 minutes, kindergarten through 6th grade. When the weather permits, we're outside in this green space, and when we are a little cooler weather, we're inside in our 2 very spacious gyms that we have at Bluffview Elementary. Today it looks like they're doing football skills on one field and soccer skills on the other.
My name is Amy Heisey. I teach 1st grade here at Bluffview. We were granted an IXL grant through the Ed Foundation last spring, and we just put it into place this fall. IXL is an online learning tool that kids can use. When I teach a lesson, I guess there's 3 parts to that lesson. One is, I would call it the I do, where I show them how to do it. The second part of the lesson would be a we do. So most often we're all together in a group and we're all practicing the skill together, making mistakes, figuring out how well we know it. And then the last part is the you do, where each of them is working on that skill independently. About 80% of my class needs to practice that skill at grade level. And then there's probably about 20% of my class that either needs to practice that skill at an easier pace or a much harder pace. So what IXL does for us is it matches learning to kids at their level. So if they need extra practice with something, IXL gives us that option of practicing that skill at a much lower level. And then if they need enrichment, we can have them practice that skill at a higher level. It matches up with the Minnesota State Standards, which is really nice for us because we can go right through the Minnesota State Standards and say, this child is maybe weak in this area or strong in this area, and we can pinpoint skills in IXL that will help them grow.